This vacant lot between Smith Street and the Gowanus Canal, known as Public Place, is the latest parcel of land to enter Brooklyn's heated affordable housing and development debate. The city planning department has organized a series of meetings to hear what residents would like to see in the spot. But the mayor's Plan NYC 2030, announced last month, indicated an affordable housing development is likely. Buddy Scotto of Scotto's Funeral Home and president of the Carroll Gardens Association, who has been working to develop housing on Public Place for decades, thinks he's finally got a deal.
Mayor Bloomberg says he's on a special mission to get to old, rundown, abandoned industrial areas and convert them to affordable housing. We want high-rise housing so long as we can get senior citizens housing and affordable housing, and that's what we're going to get. And it's a done deal.
The one big problem with the site has always been how to clean it up for development. Brad Lander of the Pratt Center for Community Development.
For many years, Brooklyn Union Gas, now Keyspan, had a coal gasification plant there, and gasifying coal is a pretty dirty process environmentally, and so a lot of environmental issues. And then even after they stopped gasifying coal there, both for a period of time when they owned it and then a period of time when the city owned it, it became sort of a dumping ground.
Betty Stoltz of the South Brooklyn Local Development Corporation believes the site is too polluted for housing.
Keyspan has gone down at least 125 feet and has found from 10 foot down there is fill for the first 10 feet, which is relatively clean. And then once you get down past that 10 feet, you have highly toxic earth all the way down to 125 feet. I mean, why stick people someplace that can kill them? I wouldn't want my mother living there.
Definitely there's been housing developed on sites that are more contaminated than this that got cleaned up to be sufficiently clean to handle residential development. So, I mean, how much is it going to cost to make clean and safe? I don't know. There's a price at which it absolutely can be made clean and safe.
In April, the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation approved a $62 million Keyspan plan to clean the site. The state rejected a $700 million alternative that would have returned the land to its pristine state after 12 years of excavation. DEC has declared that Keyspan's plan will make Public Place safe for housing, even though it will leave much of the contamination behind. Under the plan, no residential apartments will be allowed on the ground floor. Underground containment wells will remain on the site for long-term monitoring of the contaminants left behind. Patricia Culligan, a professor of civil engineering at Columbia University, who has studied Public Place, believes the community should know much more about these restrictions before deciding the future of the site.
Visioning will be much better informed if the community had an understanding of the type of remediation alternatives that are being proposed and how selections and trade-offs are going to be made between those remediation.
It could take a year for Keyspan to get final approval and begin work, however. Plenty of time for a robust debate. Stoltz believes the site should be used for parkland, and that the city should preserve the cement industry in the Gowanus area.
We're dying for a park around here. We're dying for access to the canal and to the water of the canal. Well, the other thing that's really important, though, is to keep the industry that's there, especially the cement industry, because we have a cluster, and you don't get a cluster for nothing. We have 4 different cement companies on the canal.
Right now, housing is king in New York, and advocates like Lander seem comfortable thinking boldly.
It's my belief that to achieve these goals of affordable housing, mixed income housing, and open space, it's going to be necessary to build at a density that's higher than most of the rest of Carroll Gardens. And rarely is the context framed by infrastructure quite this nicely, but because the F train kind of comes around so high there, you think of it as almost providing kind of a frame, and it would be a great opportunity to kind of, you could almost have like a 10th story. You could go right onto the platform. You could build some buildings that had an elevator, and you could like walk out. I don't know. Maybe that's getting a little carried away, but it's a neat opportunity to think